Welcome back to the Spotlight Games podcast for episode 213. Today, we are joined by a special guest because we are trying our damnedest to not just talk about the bad news of video games. I'm your host, Patrick, and dropping in for the Spotlight Games podcast this week, Jerica, aka Jerica Chu. Jerica, how are you?
I'm wonderful.
Did you
That's
just
excited.
bleat?
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah. And dropping in, Kate from No Small Games. Kate, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me. I love hanging out in the Dido chat, in the JK Games chat. Honored to be here amongst some of my favorite folks in video game media and content creation. Thank you for having me.
Hell yeah. We're so glad to have you. When we were planning the show, you were like, hey, can I bring some indie news? And I was like, oh, what a beautiful idea. And turns out it's good news. So we might actually talk about
It's good vibes.
Nice vibes today for the first time. Now, don't get me wrong. We're going to have some harsh vibes at some point for sure about things being canceled, but it won't be the whole show, which is a huge step up for how we typically do things here. Because if you don't know, this is the Spotlight Games podcast where each week we spotlight the latest and the greatest in the world of video games. You can get it by subscribing to our YouTube channel at Spotlight Games Pod or by searching, our YouTube channel at Drop In Dropout Pod. I'm going off of memory and I did that for 200 times. Drop In Dropout Pod. Go to twitch.tv/dropindropoutpod. Join the Twitch there so you can be part of the show. We stream Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern time right here on twitch.tv/dropindropoutpod. You could be in the audience basically I do work_ Cognitive Clips, High Score Weekly, Jake Twitch, and Control Eula, and millions of other screaming fans. We typically start all of our shows here at Spotlight Games with what we're playing, but before we do that, I have a couple pieces of housekeeping. And I want to meet our special guest. So some of the quick housekeeping things first. Cognitive Clips has an essay. Go to youtube.com/@Cognitive Clips. It's about Summer Game Fest, about new IP, about existing IP. Go check it out. That is live now. Buy now. It's free. And then, Jerica, you weren't there last night on JK Games Podcast, but you guys started one more game for July, correct?
Yeah, we did.
Tell us about it.
Oh, I thought I was going to leave everyone in suspense. Yeah, you should go check it out. Wonder what it is.
See what it is. Yeah.
No, it's Super Mario Sunshine. Never played it. I missed that one. So I just threw it out to them hey, you want to play this month? And they all thought, Josh and Caleb both thought I have played this game, but I have not.
How about that?
Tricked them.
If time permits, I'm game to talk about some Mario Sunshine on one more game. I am about to move, so it might be tough for me, but I'm just sick of the Mario Sunshine slander. Is it the best 3D Mario game, in my opinion? No. Is it the worst? No. And a lot of people say it is, and that makes me upsetty. So yeah, go check that out. And then later this week, Jake Twitchin talking all about Halo, because we're getting a new Halo game later this month, and today we're talking about some bad Halo news, but we're going to do a Halo retrospective, going through all the different Halo games. It's going to be Jake, Jerica, and Cog. That's going to be Thursday, 8:30 Eastern time, right here on twitch.tv/dropindropoutpod. And I think that is all we have for housekeeping. And if I forgot something, well, that's too bad. Actually, I will add one more thing. Go to dropindropoutpod.com, join the Discord, or if you want, buy some merch. I'm wearing some right now. We have all sorts of different shirts, stickers, things, and we're always cooking up some ideas. And by we, I mean typically Jerica, cooking up some ideas for merch. So you never know when we're going to have more things for sale. But I will say, not very soon.
I'm just ready for it to get cold again so I can get some hoodies in there. God, I hate it. I dress like it's cold where I'm at, but no, it's just cold in this room.
Expect a fall season drop for sure. We can go ahead and get that.
Maybe bikini. Ooh. We haven't considered bikinis. Everyone can wear one.
That
I would wear one. I would go
me
so
too.
Hard. I have that.
All of
us. Little one piece, perhaps.
That's what I need.
That's one of those.
Hell yeah.
Bucket hat. Can I put in a request? Is there already a bucket hat?
There's not already. Let's do it.
Oh, that would be cool.
Easy.
Yeah, that's so
with
easy.
The one piece.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
A set.
It's a set.
It's a set.
Yeah. Hell yeah. dropindropoutpod.com. Go do all the things. Now get the boring shit out of the way. I want to learn more about our special guest, Kate. Kate, I came across you at some point on this here internet.com. I think it might have been JK Games related, perhaps, but I don't remember the moment, but I remember once I was introduced to you, the vibe, immaculate out the gate. But I don't know a lot about you other than I know you love an indie game.
Yes.
So tell us and the audience a little bit more about you, your gaming tastes, if you have a favorite game, games from your childhood that have stuck with you, whatever you want to say about. I might ask some follow-up questions, but tell us a little bit
Okay.
about Kate and No Small Games. And also, if you want to talk about your radio show, now's another great time to do that too.
Oh, it's so sweet. Yeah, so I have been gaming since 2020, so I'm a bit of a newer gamer, if you will. I started gaming during the pandemic when I lost both of my jobs, one of which was in the restaurant industry, one of which was in the theater industry. I have a background in theater, so I'm really interested in video games as art. And like when I played in an indie game for the first time, I was like, I feel like the same feeling that I had like when I've experienced a new play. I just felt really excited.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that video games could be like that. Like I honestly thought that all games were like shoot a man games, which are so great and super valid. But I just didn't know there were games out there for people like me. So I'm just having a great time exploring indie games. And I think the first game that I ever played was ATV Off-Road Fury 2, which was given to me as a hand-me-down with the PlayStation when I was a little kid from my boy cousins. But that was the only game that came with it. So I just like vibed on my ATV with my little sisters after we watched a movie from like Blockbuster.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like my only gaming experience until 2020. Animal Crossing New Horizons was a huge gateway game for me into video games, like it was for a lot of people at that special time during the pandemic. I started streaming on Twitch because I was like, I don't have a job and I'm just playing Animal Crossing constantly.
Yeah.
So started streaming that on Twitch, and then I met Emily, who is my amazing co-founder, co-host of No Small Games, which is an indie gaming recap and review podcast where we do a deep dive on a different indie game every other week. We also do indie game news and reviews on our website, nosmallgames.com. And that's a lot about me and my relationship with games. And I will try anything. Like I'm still in the phase of exploring what the magic of what video games can be. So I've played a lot of different indie games, lots of different genres, and I'm still figuring out what I like. Right now, I really love platforming and precision platformers.
Ooh.
Just beat Love Eternal, and I'm very proud of myself for that. And that's where I'm at right now, I guess, in my gaming career.
I love that. I have a couple follow-up questions. One, a follow-up statement, which I never would have expected ATV Off-Road Fury 2 to come out of your mouth during that, which is amazing.
That's dope.
But a follow-up question, the moniker No Small Games, is the etymology a reference to there are no small parts, only small actors?
No, actually, Emily came up with No Small Games, and she was like, "What about No Small Games?" when we were talking about making a podcast together, and I was like, I kind of love that.
It's a great name.
And she says there's no small games, only small game studios, and we do cover really small games on our show. We also cover some of the bigger indies like Mouthwashing, some of the classics like Firewatch, but we will play. There is no game too small for No Small Games, so that's kind of the vibe.
Hell yeah, I love that. Well, thank you so much for being here. I think it's a great. Oh, we're getting some merch brought in from Jerica.
Jerica, I don't actually have one of these, and I've never seen one, so this is a really big moment for me. This is some No Small Games merch.
Jerica flying in some merch. What does that say? You're backwards for me.
Oh,
I think it says there are no small games.
I did that.
Only small games.
There are,
Right. It's the tagline. Yeah.
Yeah, what I heard, I was like, oh, let me grab the bag.
It's very good. Very good.
I have nothing in there yet. I could put some mangoes in there, I guess. Some mangoes.
Do you just have some mangoes lying around?
Yeah, I do. One of my friends sends me mangoes from her mom's tree in Miami. And my friend lives in Colorado now, which is crazy. I don't know where these mangoes have flown around, but then they end up in my fridge. So it's pretty cool.
Mangoes
They're
would
the
go
best
hard in
mangoes
there.
I've ever had. Yeah, they'd be perfect for that.
We are off to a great start. I love the vibe that we are creating. Also, yet another person, Coal Mines, joining, thinking that I'm playing backyard baseball, which I'm so sorry, people.
That's great.
But I'm going to talk about my experience here in a second when we start talking about what we're playing, because that is how we like to start our episodes here at Spotlight Games, with what we have been playing. Kate, as our guest, I would love to hear what you have been playing recently.
Ooh, yeah. So I have been playing. Well, okay. So I'll be vulnerable on the pod. I have no issue being vulnerable ever anywhere.
Yeah, W vulnerability.
I'm experiencing romance with a new lover. It's very exciting. You know, that like first love feeling like you're just
Yeah.
hitting it off. It's been a few months. Actually, when Jerica came on No Small Games, I talked to Jerica about this like before we started recording the pod because I was about to go on my first date with this person. Anyway, this person loves video games as well and TTRPGs, and I showed them Vampire Survivors a few days ago,
Ooh.
and then they just didn't stop playing it for like 2 days in a row, and we did a lot of co-op. So I've been playing Vampire Survivors. I'm back on my bullshit with that. I love it. Hopefully I can swear here. I feel like you guys
You
swear,
can.
right?
Yeah. Just don't say the words you can't say.
Okay, great. Yeah. So Vampire Survivors has been really fun. And then I've also been playing Relooted, which is that super cool video game about reclaiming African artifacts from Western museums. Very cool. Not quite finished with that yet, but almost done. So that's what I've been gaming.
Hell yes. Also, I have to address something I didn't catch that the chat caught was when I asked Jerica, what does it say? It's backwards, that you spun around.
Yeah,
thinking
just for like a
that-
split second. Yeah. I was like, oh no,
I really
someone
wish
noticed.
I had noticed that in the
Fucking hate my
moment.
life sometimes.
It's so funny.
Fucking
didn't
hate it. And then I
notice.
got really nervous because I was like, oh no, they're going to Trad Man Man's the only one that was around when I said one of those words on stream the other day.
Oh, sure.
It was an accident. I was like, I feel like dying right now. Yeah, that's me in a
That is
nutshell.
so funny.
Speech impediments and maybe slightly dyslexic. I don't know.
Sure.
Actually, I do know.
Yeah, well, also, but to actually engage with what you brought to the table, Kate, I went to YouTube and just searched romance because and nothing that came up on YouTube, a site that is typically not supposed to be anything not safe for work. I was like, I don't think I can share any of these even as a bit.
See.
But how exciting! It just my main concern is copyright infringement. Because YouTube can be very weird about that. But there's some spicy looking things when I just put the word romance into YouTube.
Oh,
so.
I'm going right now.
Yeah, I was
check it
thinking
out.
about doing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe after.
Maybe after. Jerica, what have you been playing?
I've been playing a lot of Dave the Diver still.
Yeah?
The DLC specifically. And it's like, it's in the jungle, not into the jungle. I've been saying into the jungle the whole time because we're going into the jungle. We're just in the jungle. Yeah, I played a lot of that. Yeah, that's it. I'm still not at the point you mentioned to me, Patrick.
And you'll know.
But there's been a lot of things that I'm like, that could have been the moment. But you said I will know for a fact. Like,
Yeah.
that's the moment.
Yeah.
Dang.
I'm curious to know what moments you think I thought or that you thought I meant. I guess that's kind of spoilery.
Is it gameplay or cutscene related?
It's a cutscene. It's a cutscene related moment that goes in with gameplay. But it's like right before the end credits, basically. Like it's pretty late.
It's
So,
not it then.
yeah,
I haven't got there yet. I've seen some pretty awesome things though, where I'm just like, this game is literally a sequel. It's so good.
It's my current game of the year for sure.
It's
Wow.
so good.
It's so good. Kate, did you ever play Dave the Diver?
I'm still working my way through the main story. I've got probably like 13 hours in, but I love it because I love ocean games and I love fish. I'm a fish freak. I love boats, love swimming in games.
Hell yeah. Yeah, of course. Jake says special episode idea, only big games, and we make Kate play Call of Duty and Assassin's Creed and shit.
Hey, I just started I started GTA 5 like 4 months ago.
Whoa.
Love it. Having a great time.
Hell
Love
yeah.
that.
Let's go online.
Let's do it. I'm down.
We've been trying to
anytime.
make this happen for years. If we just make the time, I've been
There
wanting to play
is-
online.
A working plan of me, Jerica, and Blaster Goblin. Kate, if you're so inclined to join the three of us, we can be a quartet and play
I
some
need to
GTA
drive.
Online together.
I crave
Yes.
the pedals. I need to hit the gas. I love
Ooh,
any
Need
driving
for
game.
Speed.
Yeah.
I need to hit the gas. Put that on a shirt. I have a couple things I would like to talk about. And I'll be quick with one of them. The other one, who knows, I might talk all show about it. The quick one, I've put a few hours into Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag Resynced, speaking of Assassin's Creed. And I know, Jerica, you played a little bit of it.
I did play it.
What do you think so far of it?
It's more of what we know with it.
Yeah.
I wasn't instantly brought in. Like, I'm not gonna break away from Dave the Diver to play this, even though the graphics of the underwater atmosphere are way better in this one versus Dave the Diver. But I still I'm just not in the mood to get lost in this world, and I was never big on the I guess the ship combat and I feel like that's obviously a big part of this game, or it's about to be.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know. I don't know if this one's for me or if I'm in the mood. I don't think it's so far. I don't think it's the game's fault. I think it's me. I'm not in the mood for that just yet.
I know what you mean. I am in the mood, turns out. I'm having such a good time with it. Turns out. My body said yes, and I am having a great time. I remember so vividly. I talked about this somewhere. It might have either been in someone like Jake's chat or on content. I forget which, but I remember so vividly the launch day of the PS4, getting that delivered and having Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag as well, and just playing it like all day. I was in college at the time, and I don't remember if I just didn't go to class or if it was one of my days that I purposely wouldn't have class. There's Garbanzo,
Senor,
who is Kate's cat. If you're listening, and I have no idea what that was in reference to. But I'm having such a good time, and part of it is just like exploring this game that I loved from back in the day that I've not touched at all since then, that so many people in the last 10 plus years put on the pedestal of like, this is the best Assassin's Creed game, that I haven't necessarily felt that way, but being like, oh, I see why people say this is the best one because of how much fun I'm having and how good it feels. But then also something that I'm really appreciating as one of the few, the proud, the sickos that actually love the modern day bullshit more than the actual game. I love all the weird timey-wimey history shit that they weave in, and like the modern day shit that most people are like, get this out of my game. They've like added more this time around.
I'm sold. I'm interested now.
I don't know that it's going to be like enough to warrant 100%ing the game, but I'm already seeing stuff that I really don't believe was in the game originally, that I'm like, I have that itch right now, Jerica, to like go kind of 100% this game, to be like, I want to find these anomalies, and I want to find all these like, there's like randomly this like movie trailer that I found of like Black Flag, but like as a movie in the world of the game, but it's not called Black Flag. It's called like Dead Pirates something. I don't remember, but I'm just like, I'm so into that shit when they try to make it more important than it is, that it's just like, no, this is just a pirate video game. It's a stupid pirate game, but you're trying to like have this meta narrative about this evil corporation. It's the best.
You never know. I love a good ARG inside of a video game, like just something like that. Am I chasing something that's going to get me like actual like story substance, or is it just like for funs? But you know, I feel like those things aren't put in the game just for whatever. They have to like tie to something that we get us some kind of new lore drop in this world. You know, I didn't beat Shadow, so I don't know if there's like anything extra from that this supplements, even though I think this is like, obviously I don't know where we are in history at this point in time. All of it seems very similar to me, but
we're in the 1700s in this game, but I don't remember the year of Shadows. And I do think there's some kind of a crossover, something like a mission or something. But I've just decided I'm just going to go to our good friend Wikipedia and read all the things I missed in Assassin's Creed Shadows, because there's just too many at this point to keep up with, even as someone who's played most of the games in the franchise, but not all of them. So I'm having a very good time with that. And then I have put like 10 hours into Backyard Baseball, the new game that came out last week. Again, apologies to anybody that came here thinking I was playing this game again. But I could not be happier with this new iteration of Backyard Baseball. I think the team at Mega Cat Studios has done an immaculate job bringing this game back to life and modernizing it in such a way that it's like better to play with a controller now, which is something I just never would have expected, because originally it was designed with a mouse in mind. That I was streaming it Friday night and Noah was like, hey, I think you're actually going to like the controller more. And I was like, I don't see that happening. And he's fucking right. And I've not used the mouse a single time since then. I'm having such a good time playing it. There are things I wish were different. Like there's a few little things, but ultimately, like, I don't care. I'm so excited to see where they go from here, of like a new soccer game, a new football game. They've already dropped some hints. They mentioned Chuck Downfield, who's the commentator of Backyard Football. So Lindsay, who was on the show, she kind of hinted that they won't probably stop with Backyard Baseball, but I'm having such a good time. There's so much like love and so much new shit in the game too. Like there's a card pack opener thing in it now.
Oh,
where like
man.
Cool.
When you win a game, you get coins that you can go spend to open like rip packs, and they can sometimes unlock characters or just like fill out your card book. The game is awesome, and there's new modes and it's just, yeah, it's the best. So very, very, very pleased with how well that has turned out for anyone in the backyard baseball world that is interested in trying that out. So yeah, that's what I've been playing. Any other games y'all want to talk about before we jump into our first news story of the day?
I'm ready.
Hell yeah. Jerica, nothing for you?
I'm so ready to just jump in.
Well, let's
news.
talk about some bad news. Let's get the bad news out of the way. I'm pulling from Cade Onder at IGN. Halo Studios reportedly cancels new multiplayer project. A popular Halo YouTuber known as Rebs Gaming has reported that a new multiplayer project set in the beloved sci-fi universe was recently canceled. This report was also backed up by Windows Central's Jez Corden, who stated that the news was 100% true. The new game was codenamed Ekur. I don't know, EKUR. Let's just say Ekur. And was being worked on by Certain Affinity, a studio that has done a lot of support work on previous Halo and Call of Duty titles. The game's origins began in a totally different project known as Tatanka, which was a Battle Royale-esque Halo game. However, that was scrapped in favor of Ekur, which was described as a super big team battle idea, pulling from Halo's history of large-scale multiplayer modes. Halo 5's Warzone mode was seen as a source of inspiration as well, and the team also toyed with an extraction mode. The project would have used the map that was built for Tatanka and was being developed in Unreal Engine, not unlike the upcoming Halo Combat Evolved remake. And then they talk about like Halo Infinite and things like that. But ultimately, even though in part of laying off 3,200 people both last week and 1,600 last week and 1,600 more over the next year, with one of the talking points of Asha Sharma saying, we're going to focus on our franchises like Halo, turns out perhaps not totally true. Any surprise here from y'all about? I'm certainly not. Actually, part of me is, though, that they've canceled a Halo game.
Not it being this like open world battle royale game, like that's not surprising to me. Maybe if we got news that like the next mainline situation's canceled and they're just like giving up on Halo.
Sure.
But like that mode can be implemented in the next game. Like if it was a standalone product, like if I understand that correctly, yeah,
it sounds like it was going to be its own thing.
The ship has sailed, you know, like as far as one, the issue being like the last Halo experience that we did get just didn't meet expectations. I don't think the last two have. So just to be able to say, well, look, we got this shiny new battle royale game that you can now play, like, but I'm already playing these other ones and they're better. And,
Yeah.
you know, I think it's too late. And that's, yeah, they already don't have the resources to probably work on the next Halo game. And now they've cut people. So yeah, this thing totally makes sense, unfortunately.
Yeah, I guess part of my thinking that I'm a little surprised is the whole last week of it all of where we want to focus on Halo. But you make a good point of like, it's super late, as Control in the chat mentions, entering the Battle Royale world's 10 years late. And also they're working on another Halo something. So perhaps that mode, I guess, could go into that game.
Let the gamers make their own modes, you know, like what do they call that?
Forge?
Their little, just make, we're free labor. Use us. Just let us make the next one. That's probably what they'll end up doing.
Sure. I just, it always sucks to hear that a game was canceled, even as me. And Kate, do you care about Halo at all? I don't.
I mean, I've never played Halo, but I feel like things are dire and things be getting canceled right now. So
things really do be getting canceled right now.
But Battle Royale sounds cool, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, I don't love the value prop, as it were, of Halo, of like, I just don't really care about the world. I don't really care about the characters. I've played a lot of the games, but it just like hasn't imprinted on me. But something new like a Battle Royale, I might at least try. So I do hope that is something that comes around in the next game. But yeah, I don't know. I can't help but go ahead.
They have some just work to do. Like they can't, this is like just, even if I hate that it was canceled, maybe we say it's canceled. It's not the next big thing. I do think they still use it, but I don't think it can't be their new it can't be the new game or the new thing from Halo. The next Halo thing has to be great. Like I just think there's been too much bad blood with that franchise, and it's just not even.
That's true.
I just if this this would make me just as mad if it was actually coming out. I'm like,
yeah.
for real? For real? Like, I hate that things are obviously getting canceled, but this makes sense that this would maybe be, let's put this on the back burner for a bit. Let's work on the thing that really needs to prove to gamers that, Xbox is trying to do their best over here. At least we're not going to kill Master Chief next. But you never know. Could be next.
Yeah.
Could be next.
It's supposed to be co-op, right? This is supposed to be a co-op game.
So the one that's coming out later this year definitely is co-op. Let me see if this was saying co-op, because I know it was definitely multiplayer.
I feel like even in the indie scene, like so many things are co-op now. There was a showcase. Maybe it was, I don't know which showcase it was, but almost every single game that was shown was co-op. So I do think that's interesting. Just like people starting to really focus on co-op experiences now. Like I don't really know why that is, but it's a trend that's in the indie space a lot right now. So
I'll be so interested to see how Combat Evolved, the remake of 1, performs. And I guess it's 3 weeks. I said later this year. Heroic Headgear says it's in 3 weeks.
Same thing for my brain.
Right. But I do, to your point, Jerica, of like the next Halo thing needs to be fucking good. I see why they're putting their eggs in the basket of just put out what most people consider the best Halo. Maybe not most people, but a lot of people, which is the first one. If that don't hit,
Master Chief's gonna get laid off next.
Yeah,
like I don't want that to happen for Master Chief. You know, like I love Halo. We'll talk about it more on Thursday, but like I'm just mad. Why? See, this is the kind of projects though that get in the way of making the good stuff. This makes me so mad. This was such thing 10 years ago. Why are we even still working on it? Hopefully things can be salvaged to be implemented in the next mainline game. That maybe nothing. I just don't want things to go to waste and people lose more jobs. Like, hey, can we utilize what we built here in the next Halo thing?
You don't want Spartan 116 to be Spartan 86th.
No.
How's that?
That's
How's
it.
that?
That's going to be on the thumbnail.
It was a reach. It was a pretty bad reach, unfortunately. It was a pretty bad Halo reach. Okay, our next news story.
Let me see a Halo. Sorry, I'm done.
God of War Studio confirms Laufey will have a disc version, revealing its release window. The news, which came in the form of an X post simply stating that God of War Laufey will be available on disc, has also seemingly revealed the release window for the new entry. Since Sony's cutoff for the production of physical disc games is January 2028, Santa Monica Studios' statement heavily implies that God of War Laufey will release sometime next year. Sony announced last week that starting in January 2028, all new PlayStation 5 games will be available on the PlayStation Store and at retailers in digital-only formats. Only games released in 2027 or earlier will be available to reprint physical discs. So essentially, the argument here, which I'm curious to see if y'all buy, but the argument here essentially is, well, if Sony Santa Monica says there's going to be a disc, then it must come out before PlayStation stops making discs. Kate, do you think that this could be true, or do you think this is just like marketing bullshit 101 type, like to stay in good graces for now?
I don't know. I think like everyone was pretty, I mean, a lot of people were outraged. In my specific curated algorithm, people were outraged about the cancellation of physical discs. So I don't know. It could just be marketing, but I feel like for me personally, like physical media is important, but I'm not a huge physical media collector. Yeah. Honestly, like I am okay with just downloading games, but I do feel like the argument is valid and a lot of people, I mean, we do want to own things, right? Like we want to feel like we own things and we want to feel like no one will ever be able to take away the art that we own. And that can exist in all kinds of mediums beyond video games. So honestly, it's kind of just got me thinking that I would like to collect more myself, but I don't know. Yeah, it's a really interesting time, and I'm curious to see what happens, I guess.
Yeah, me too. Jack, what do you think? You think we're getting this game next year?
I mean, despite the negative feeling news about no discs, this has given me two little things to get excited for. One, I think we're getting this game a lot sooner, obviously. I have felt that Laufey. That's how I'm gonna
Yeah, how do
say
you
it.
say it?
Yeah.
I was wondering.
I believe it's
Laufey.
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 Laufey is gonna be right around the corner. I feel like they literally started on this game right after God of War 2018. Like, they got like a not two studio situation, but like they got an engine that's firing on multiple cylinders,
Yeah.
as they say. And they've been working on this a long time. And I think for PlayStation, like, I think they've learned at least this lesson, at least one. Like, hey, let's not announce a game 4 years before it comes out.
Sure.
I think they're holding it closer to their chest now because we're in this situation now. We don't, we've been laying off folks left and right. We're not going to have a lot of PlayStation first party games like we used to. It's one a
Yeah.
year, I think, one or maybe two.
Yeah.
And I think this will be the one for next year, unless I'm forgetting something. But like, unless Intergalactic squeezes in, but I think this is the star of the show next year. Makes sense.
It does. Yeah, I agree. I think I can see an argument that this is like if it gets delayed kind of thing. Well, okay, does that mean that there's still going to be a disc? Whatever, blah blah blah. But then, like, Coal Mines in the chat was saying, he's thinking spring 2027. I do think it makes sense that this would be next year. I'm always skeptical that companies like Sony will actually hit the dates that they say they do, because history tells us typically they don't, a lot more than they do. But I do think, to the point of Sony has just had such a light few years on the exclusivity, like their own studio front. I think this one, it does make sense that this will come next year. And I think will be a big thing to get excited for. And also, great on them for avoiding this year with how packed this year is. I'm sure that was in some way intentional. To not, because the God of War Laufeys of the world, they want to be game of the year. They don't want to compete with Grand Theft Auto or Control Resonant or whatever.
One thing I want to add to, like, I've lost my train of thought. It just left me. Left the building. Did that last night. I was going somewhere. No. I was holding on to it. I was like, I don't want to lose this. We'll forget about it. It'll come back.
I'll say that, like, I just got my first, I guess if you don't count the ATV Off-Road Fury 2, way back in the day.
I do.
I just got my
first. I count it. Yeah, it's awesome.
I just got my first PlayStation that, like, as an adult, like 6 or 7 months ago.
Cool.
And I haven't really explored any, like, console exclusives yet, but I'm very curious. So,
Jericho, you got it
has
back.
recommendations.
I put it in the chat. It came back. I would have highlighted it. I did this last night. Exactly. And I highlighted the message. I'm sorry, spinning my bits and things on the things. Maybe I'll highlight another one later. It just left me again.
She just lost it, didn't you? Did you really just lose it?
No, I did almost for a second. But let me tell you, I do think it's fascinating that, like, Sony Santa Monica, like, I've been wondering, like, how are the studios, how's Insomniac feeling about this decision? Naughty Dog, Santa Monica. And I love that they sort of just went out and just said, yeah, it's going to be on a disc. Like, you see a lot of them sort of like spitting out like our game will be on a disc. So I just wonder, like, what's the tension there between Sony proper and, like, with the PlayStation folks that are trying to make this platform, like, sustainable and trying to make good games and trying to do better by the player over here. And I just wonder, like, I feel like that's sort of a slap in the face to Sony. Like, just put it out there, like, yeah, our game's gonna be on a disc, versus saying, like, a release date. Which I like the fact that they've done that. So I'm hoping there's more pushback, like, from the studio saying, hey, no, let's we want a physical copy of our game. Same thing for Wolverine.
Sure. They are about to be at San Diego Comic-Con, both God of War Laufey and Wolverine. They're going to be having panels all about their games. And I wonder, I don't think so, but I wonder if it's possible we get, like, a seasonal hint of, like, whether spring, fall, summer, etc. there. We wouldn't get a date at Comic-Con. There's no way we would actually get the date. That's going to be something like a Game of the Year or a Game Awards or something like that. But why have a panel of the game if the game isn't relatively imminent? I mean, sure, that is a good point. I think marketing for these kinds of big games can have all sorts of longer tails, though. But first half of next year, I do think makes sense. Dumpster Boy in the chat, have you on mute since I'm at the Maylene and the Sons of Disaster show, but I love you all. Also, Patrick, I still haven't announced the winner of the Hidden Games concert, Hidden Gems, not concert. What's he trying to say? The Hidden Gems contest, I think is what he's trying to say.
Yes.
So feel free to ruin someone's night if you want. Actually, I do believe, Kate, you were the winner.
Wait, I won?
You're going to win. It hasn't been announced yet,
But I already have mouthwashing.
So then we will be picking somebody else to be the winner. How funny.
Great indie game, though. Highly recommend it.
Somebody tell Cayman in the chat that she already has mouthwashing, so we have to pick somebody else. That's very funny. Okay. Well, that brings us to the end of that news story, which brings us to, for the first time ever, an indie-only news segment. Kate, I kick to you to take the reins for a bit.
Yeah, I am here. I have the Indie Rex, hot Indie Rex. I think I heard here recently that there's not a lot of like AAA releases in July, which makes sense because everybody's gone, they're on vacation, what have you. But the indie world does not stop. There are way too many games. Honestly, it's a problem. There's a plethora of games coming out every week. It's hard to stay on top of all of them. But I've collected some that are releasing this week, just a few that look really, really cool. We'll start off with Dench Attack, which is really awesome. I was talking earlier about how I love to go fast. I yearn for the pedals. I love to go vroom vroom, love to be a boat or a car. In this game, you are a train, and you're in this like very colorful Japanese dystopia. And it's very similar to like a skating game, like the mechanics. If you like any skating game, or if you like Skate Story or Sayonara Wild Hearts, this would be a great pick for you. I'm super excited for this one. I played the demo, and just the satisfaction you get of like jumping from track to track as this giant train is very cool. It's also very cinematic within its cutscenes. So like you'll just be flopping around, and then all of a sudden like mountains just appear all around you, and it's very, very immersive, and it also just honestly feels great to play. I played the demo on my Steam Deck, and the controls are super tight. It's very maximalist, and I am a fan of that.
So fun, and it has that like Dreamcast view, or like a art style of like a Jet Set Radio or something.
Yes, yeah.
It looks so fun, and I cannot wait to play this. Did you say when is this coming out? That's like now, right?
Yeah, I think it's tomorrow.
Tomorrow,
let's
yeah.
see. Yeah, tomorrow. It comes out tomorrow. So this
yeah.
was just a demo that really stuck in my brain, and I got really excited for it. So that's a great indie release for tomorrow, among many this week.
I also think Jake maybe drafted that on his Fantasy Critic team for Dido. So he might be getting some points.
Yeah.
That reminds me. Is Truck Coon supporting me from another world?
Yes.
Is that coming too?
I
Is that this month?
I added on this list for you. We'll get there.
Thank you. Sorry, I got excited. The trains made me think of it.
Yeah.
Totally. I didn't add that one because I was hoping one of y'all would. So that's great news. But yeah, Dench Attack will be super cool. We've also got coming out, and we're still just on this week, the Mermaid Mask coming out on July 16th. I know in the Hidden Gems episode that Crow Country was mentioned, so these are the same developers as Crow Country. So if you've played Crow Country, you can expect some difficult, in my opinion, puzzles. I think that the kinds of puzzles that are in that game are a little difficult for my brain, but I do love the survival horror elements. They do have that mode in Crow Country where you can turn off the survival horror, so I'm wondering if we'll see any type of settings like that here in the Mermaid Mask. But this is like a point-and-click detective game, which is honestly usually not my bag, especially puzzle games aren't really my bag. They have to be like a very specific kind of puzzle. But the Mermaid Mask has like that gorgeous hand-drawn art style, and like honestly some of the best colors I've seen.
It's
just,
so
like, really
pretty.
vibrant.
Looking at this trailer, I'm so in. I'm absolutely getting this game.
Yeah, I think it'll be really good. A lot of folks are really looking forward to this one, and they're super cool too on social media. Like this team, it's mostly two brothers are the developers, and they make these games, and I feel like Crow Country, it's been a minute, so I'm excited to check out their next one.
I'm gonna see if they want to talk about their games on a podcast.
Yes, they're so cool. Love a brothers duo making video games, honestly. Um, Also this week we have Desktop Explorer. This is if I didn't say, Mermaid Mask comes out on July 16th. And then on July 17th, we have Desktop Explorer, which this one is so. I was totally enthralled in this game. This one is very like, yeah, in this game, you sort of you inherit an old computer of your uncle, I believe. He's your uncle.
That's my dream.
This,
Sorry.
This one's for Jerica.
It could go many places.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm hoping so. In the demo, I checked out the demo, and it's really cool because you kind of get the sense that you're kind of told that your uncle had this relationship with someone who is very, very important to him, and then this person has gone missing. So your like job is to explore, if you will, the desktop. It's in the title. Explore the desktop to solve the mystery. But it is also technically a psychological horror game. So if you like to be scared, but you're not really a fan of like, graphic horror, this is a very specific and different kind of horror. And honestly, playing the demo, my heart was racing, and I just want to find out who was this man. I think it's a man, and part of me is like, is this low-key a love story? Like the uncle had a thing for this man, and now this man is missing. That's kind of what I'm hoping for.
Wow, this is even deeper. I can't wait. I love a good computer. I'm at a computer game. I'm on a virtual desktop and I'm getting hacked by a demon possibly, or ARG, and my uncle was, was trying to find love and maybe life wasn't loving back, I guess. But yeah, I like that. That's cool.
I'm not putting any pressure on this next game, Kate, but so far, 3 for 3, I'm buying all of these games.
Damn, yeah. I really tried to come with the good recs. But yeah, so Kaz, I haven't checked this one out. I haven't played the demo or anything, but this released yesterday actually. Oh, also Desktop Explorer coming out July 17th.
Ooh, nice.
Kaz released yesterday, and this is a roguelite. This honestly, I was reading some of the reviews before this recording, but in this roguelite game, you are strictly using your arrow keys to execute all of the movements and the moves, which to me kind of sounds like I would have to show up differently because I like to use a controller. So I can't quite figure out if this game will be for me or not, but you are exclusively using your arrow keys, and it almost kind of looks and feels like a rhythm game based on what I saw in the trailer. Like you're just moving really, really fast.
Yeah.
And I just love. I'm really into the roguelites lately, especially ones that I can like play on my phone or just pick up quickly and put down. Like I guess like Vampire Survivors, Luck Be a Landlord. But this one just seems interesting because I like that they have that unique twist to it. Like you only use these keys on your keyboard. Someone in one of the reviews said like, I played for 30 minutes and my hand hurts so bad, like I can't wait to play again.
That's very good.
Yeah, that one should be cool. So that one, came out or releases yesterday, and then we've got some other ones in here from y'all, which I'm excited to hear about.
Yeah, so I threw on a couple. I threw on Moss, the Forgotten Relic, which is something a game that I'm very excited to play. So if you don't know Moss and Moss 2 released several years ago on the PlayStation VR, and have since like they reported to other VR systems and stuff. But you play as this little mouse. Or like in the actually you aren't the mouse, you're just like controlling the mouse. You're playing as this like person like reading a storybook kind of. I don't really remember the vibe of it, but it's definitely giving like fantasy storybook vibe. And you are helping this mouse like get from point A to point B and traverse the land and get through puzzles and get past enemies and things like that. But The Forgotten Relic, which releases on Thursday, is a game that brings together 1 and 2 and makes them not VR anymore. So you just play as Moss and are playing through the game. So Moss, like for a lot of people, is like the pinnacle of VR, or a pinnacle rather of VR. So I'm excited for this game to get in front of like a much larger audience now, because VR just doesn't have anywhere as big of an audience as non-VR games do. So yeah, that comes out. I know it's on PlayStation, but I assume it's coming out on everything, I would think.
It
Um,
looks like it might be a little tragic or heartwarming or something.
there's going some kind of heart something, whether warming or breaking, definitely.
Don't you like that one game? What is it with the mouse and it's harrowing and it's winter?
Oh, what, the
It's
Winter Burrow?
yeah,
Yeah.
Love Winterboro.
Josh
Winter
played
Burrow
that. I think
vibes.
was telling us a little bit, or Kayla, or both of them played it, and it almost convinced me to play. I saw the art style in some gameplay, but I didn't realize the mechanics tied to it.
Yeah.
I need to get to that because now, once again, someone else is telling me to play.
It's so my quick pitch sell on Winterboro. I really don't fuck with survival games of like go get 10
Yeah.
sticks and go get 4 leaves. But the world was so aesthetically pleasing to me and the music was really calming and nice
good music.
that I basically played the whole game in a weekend. I played like nonstop all weekend because I was sick. But I was like laying in there basically 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. just like it was my job, just doing all of these different tasks. And it's like the things that you're doing is like get enough is essentially yarn to make yarn to knit a sweater for this like badger down the way. It's like
Oh man,
it is just such a happy game, even though like it can get sad too, but I just had a really nice time playing it. It's like peak cozy in that way. So yeah, I think you should give it a try, and I think it's on Game Pass if you still have that, Jerica. So okay, this next one I'm gonna read about it, but I don't have much to say about it because it's not the game for me, because I don't really know about it, but it's the Truck Coon game, Jerica. It is Truck Coon is supporting me from another world. What I do know is that this is a game from the developers Strange Scaffold, who are fantastic indie developers. They're the ones, if you don't know them, they're releasing games like their days of the week. They have created such an efficient workflow of video games. They've released like 30 games in like 6 years or something, and they're all quality. I've streamed a couple of them on the channel before. But this is coming out July 29th. It says your truck is magic and you owe a soul debt to the buff isekai elf girl living in your head. Run over pedestrians as a truck coon in a chaotic OVA-sized campaign, make deliveries, and defeat the Skeleton King across 2 worlds in this anime driving game with heart. Jerica, what do you know about Truck Coon and why should we play it?
I mean, I'm either gonna love it or hate it. There's not in between. I feel like
Yeah.
on this one, I mean, just based on the trailer and obviously with the developer in mind, like if it would have been any other unknown developer for me personally, I would have been like, I don't know. I'm gonna see what reviews say, but I'm convinced this might be a really fun game to play. Sorry.
Yeah.
I will say I'm just a big fan of little tiny vehicles from Japan already.
Sure.
And the fact that there's mini games built into this system, however it works. I've lately found that I love a game that's multiple things in one. I wonder
Ooh,
why.
Yeah.
And
Wonder why.
I like to do 50 million things at once, even though I don't understand. But with my games, I think I do. And it just looks like there's a lot going on, and it looks charming and fun and just silly.
And you like a truck, like, don't you like a car game too? Am I right?
Oh, yes. I like,
Yeah.
especially when they're small, the little tiny
Yes.
ones,
Oh,
And
yeah.
I'll say, like, I played the demo for this. And I've never really found a Strange Scaffold game that I feel like is for me specifically.
Sure.
Except for Clickholding, which I have played through several times, which I don't know if I want to explore why I've played that several times.
Sure.
But I will say that Truck Coon, like, the driving mechanics in it feel crazy and like as a compliment. Like
Yeah.
you can run over everything, and that's something that I really need because I don't really have like the spatial awareness like playing a driving game, even though I want to drive. So in this game, like the navigation of the car feels incredible because you really can just like speed over people. You're trying to hit objects basically, and they make it really easy for you. And then it's also got like some Mario Kart inspired moments where it's like you go up a platform and through a little rainbow circle and get a power up. Like there's the driving in it is honestly really impressive.
Hell yeah. This isn't going to sound like what am I trying to say? I have been thinking a lot lately about just like the state of this industry and how so often it's about how things are bad and how so many things are burning and people are losing their jobs like all the time. And a lot of what I play, not exclusively of what I play, but a lot of what I play is bigger stuff, things that took years and lots of money and bombastic and it's AAA. I think I want to take a hard left turn into indie games. Like, I've been thinking about this a lot lately, that there are so many games that are fucking awesome that don't get enough love and eyes and ears and hands. And every single game we just talked about, I want to play. And it's like, before this podcast, I kind of knew about some of them, but like they weren't totally on my radar. And I'm like, what do we mean we need hidden gems for July? Look at all of this fucking great shit just in the next 2 weeks. I need, I want to go more into indie games than I currently do.
Best time played, and to your point, like, we both love In the Jungle DLC. Like, game of the year is a contender for me too. Like, it's the one thing I can't seem to put down, and I'm just also spending way too many hours in because I'm just having so much fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think there's a lot to be excited for, and a lot of games that, like, I know I've put off to the side from last year even that I need to get back to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they have that, like Josh mentions in the chat, I play more indies because they're cheap, short, and handcrafted. I feel like, not to say that a big AAA game can't have heart, because a lot of them do, but there is something uniquely artful, I think, about a game made by a few people that is like, the vision is always so clear. You can tell it's made with love. And like, today, I think it's a really nice thing to go after. And also, like, I think back to, because I'm a weirdo, I always do like, what are my top 10 games of every year? And typically even though the minority of the games I play are indie games, typically they are a large chunk of my top 10. Mm-hmm. I just don't play as many as I think I should. So Kate, you've inspired me.
Some things just can't compete with grandma's biscuits and gravy. True. I don't know where else you're getting biscuits and gravy, but it's not my grandmother's. It's way better. So good.
You can feel the love. You can feel the love when you experience the indie game.
You do. I just wish I could learn to make a biscuit. So
sure.
Maybe that could be a game that we make.
It's probably already a game, honestly. Like,
there's
making biscuits.
That game called Lemon Cake. It's a great indie.
Are kneading? Is there a lot of? Is that what you call it? Kneading the dough, right?
Yeah.
I was making sure that was the right word.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I want to do that.
Yep.
Ooh.
I'm sure there's a porn variant of a bread baking game as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Kate, we're not done though with games coming soon. Those are just the ones that are coming like now.
Yeah, those are the ones coming now. I also wanted to shout out Plum Road Tea Dream because it's for the theater kids as well. This is something I'm really interested in. It's a story about exploring and discovering queer identity through ritual, and it's got like a live performance art and art exhibition element to it, which I think is really cool. I would love to be able to see it in person, but it is not based in the US. But I do think it's cool that people are starting to experiment with like, what do video games look like as like beyond the screen basically, and how can we incorporate them into some sort of like performance art or a more collaborative artistic practice moment essentially. Because I think like there's just a lot of people, because I work in the arts full time, and there's so many people that like don't consider video games as art.
Sure.
It's just because they don't have the experience. Like they were like me 5 years ago, and they don't know that there's video games out there for them basically. And that, like other artistic mediums, oftentimes involves all kinds of collaborators between like, music, production, like all of these things coming together to create one full experience basically. So I think Plum Road Tea Dream will be really, really cool for that, just because even though, and it comes out to Steam on the 27th of July, even though we can't experience that live performance aspect of it, I think you can tell watching the trailer that like this is a theater person, a performance artist making a video game, which I think is another thing to be celebrated. As making a game becomes more accessible to people, and like I'm thinking about like 1,000 Times Resist, made by a lot of performance art and theater and film based creators. I think like Plum Road Tea Dream will have similar surprises, and like it carry a different weight and carry a different feeling because it's made from someone with a performance background. So I'm really, really excited for that one.
Yeah, that's really cool. And I've never thought of it that way, in that theater as an art form inherently is an inaccessible art form because you have to be in the room.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't have to be in the room, but for the most part you do. And so, yeah, that's a cool concept of bringing that to a game where it could be anywhere. It doesn't have to be
Yeah.
in that sacred space.
And the concept of like playing video games for people as a performance is interesting to me too, because there's like a lot of people who maybe like, I don't feel comfortable just like picking up a controller or even downloading a game. Like, I don't know how to do that, but I do know how to go sit down and watch something. And so it sounds like with this game and with the performance version of it, that like it's really just two actors like playing the game for people essentially, and then the audience can like participate and ask questions. So I am excited. I hope we see more of this just as the years go by, like a more like blending of and like you're starting to see video game exhibits pop up in museums too, which I think is also cool and important. So hopefully just more of that. And I think this will be honestly, watching the trailer just like brings me to tears. So I'm really excited for this one.
You can count on theater kids to do weird fucking shit, and that's the best.
Exactly.
I think it's neat just to consider like what, obviously Twitch is the place to watch people play video games, but like I've never considered like what a smaller, experience could be. Like what could that be if you wanted to play a game with a group of people at a theater room or I don't know. What do you do this? I'm thinking about local little concert area, like doing something there and playing a game. Like I'm not creative enough there, but I've never really thought about like what could that look like? What could Twitch like in a room full of people look like and getting people to participate? So like that's a cool concept that unless it's like esports, like competitions and stuff, I don't think of watching video games like that. And I don't really honestly watch a lot of people playing video games on my screen, but like if there was something to go watch and interact with, like hell yeah, I'm down.
Yeah.
I'm grandma's interested. I'll put on my pants for that one. We gotta
get some grandmas in the room. Like honestly, let's get the grandmas experiencing video games through performance. I think that like that would be really cool. I've experimented with it a little bit at my job, where I just like put people in a room and show them a video game and like encourage them to come click around and explore. And it's gone really well. And people are like, oh, I didn't know that like a Monument Valley or a Florence or something like that existed. So I think it's cool.
That's awesome. First Jam in the chat says, now it's more important than ever to position video games more as art than as a good or a disposable experience. I agree.
Yes.
Hear.
Yes.
And then High School Weekly also said there are some video game cover bands that often have someone playing the game live as a performance aspect member
Love
of the
that.
band. That I've not seen before. That is also
We've had something come around town once or twice. That's
Once or
doing
twice
that.
in
Yeah,
town.
pretty fucking cool.
Shoot.
Like we should do it. We can play Red Dead Redemption and play country music, have a bluegrass band.
All right.
Is that right?
That would be so sick, honestly.
Yeah.
I'd be sat for that. I love Red Dead.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, girl.
There you go. Yeah.
We have everyone we need right here, honestly.
Driving down the road, trying to loosen my load.
I'll just do Arthur Morgan talking to his horse and only that.
I'd pay $20 for that ticket. I really would.
We're doing the wrong things for money, Patrick.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Y'all are stars. Come on.
Stop it. Kate, do we have more games? I forget. I'm looking at the YouTube, not the doc.
I also just shouted out Big Walk, which I know a lot of people are stoked for. That one's coming out August 4th. But for me, and we were talking about co-op experiences a little bit earlier, as a newer gamer, I need the more chill co-op games. Big Walk looks really awesome because you are solving puzzles with your buds. And I think they've also baked in a lot of that like slice of life. Let's look at the sunset and we're just friends, and it's like really special and romantic, Like that's the vibe I'm getting, is like it's not high stakes, but it's more about just hanging out with your friends and collaborating, like big focus on collaboration. And so I'm excited for that. I also really like Flock Around. So like that's the kind of vibe I'm looking for in my co-op experiences. So yeah, I think Big Walk's going to be really great. That's indie, like I said, coming out August 4th. I will be playing that. Any thoughts on Big Walk from y'all?
I think Big Walk's going to be the game that if you've ever wanted to participate in Destiny raids, but you don't want a challenging situation or lose, your life to this game, Big Walk's going to be it. Because like I think about the things that you're doing in that game, and from what I could tell, like the collaboration and the puzzle solving mechanics of a raid is what I see a little bit of in Big Walk, but without like danger. So like I literally was thinking like I want to do this with my Destiny crew. I want to do it with y'all too. But like I'm fascinated with like what we've learned as a group, like playing Destiny together, like how quickly we can solve some of these puzzles and situations. Like, yeah, I'm excited for it. I think it's different in a few different ways, but simple in the right things. And this might be a banger.
I will admit, because we have been vulnerable other nights tonight, I was like, what the fuck is Jerica like trying to say here? At first, it was like, how could Destiny be related to this literally at all? But you landed the plane.
Just
And
hold
I
on
get
a
it.
second. Promise, y'all. Sometimes you just want to. I know we're doing this in the plane sometimes when I'm talking.
Look here. There was some turbulence,
Listen.
but we landed the plane.
Nelly.
Dude, no, I
Landed.
want to check out a Destiny raid. Is it too late for me? It's too late, probably.
That's another thing that would be really fun to do. Like, let me take y'all on a Destiny raid. Spoiler, I don't ever tell people what we need to be doing. I'm not the leader, but I'll try.
Okay.
Ooh, isn't it interesting too to see like what kind of personalities emerge from your friends in co-op situations?
It's exactly like in real life because our same friend that has to like tell us what to do is the same thing. Okay, where are we gonna go eat? No one says. It's like, okay, well, we're going this way.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, and you know what else really cool about Big Walk is they recently had an event where they like did do sort of an immersive performance art thing with it, where they had like projectors everywhere and they're running everything off of QLab like under a table, which is something I've definitely done before. And they like incorporated a lot of cool like just like little theatrical touches to make it feel like an experience when people are coming to like play test the game. So
how funny.
It's really cool.
It's neat.
WQ Lab.
Shout out.
The only thing I have to say about Big Walk is that Samson has left the chat without knowing that Samson has left the chat because Big Walk came up and he didn't fucking cream his leathers.
Oh no.
Start typing in all caps. So Samson, when you're listening to this later, I expect you to go to the Discord and say, I was a naughty boy and I wasn't listening live and we talked about Big Walk and I wasn't there. And you're probably going to have a good excuse and you're going to make me feel bad. But I'm disappointed in you, and I hope we can make that for this later. You know what you did. Now turn around and get us spanking. Okay, anything else from the games to suggest category before we talk about, or do we already talk about news? Or no, this was what we were doing, just the game release.
Yeah, it's just like game shout outs. Also just wanted to shout out that right now it is the non-binary coded games Steam event, which is really cool. There's a bunch of games in there that I did not know were made by non-binary developers. Some in there that I think y'all would like. Dungeon Bodega Simulator. Very, very cool. The developer actually just went to Bandcamp and was like, let me find some music for my indie game.
Amazing.
Found this guy named Carlo Man making these really sick medieval lo-fi vibes. Just threw it in the Dungeon Bodega Simulator game, which I think is cool because, like, why not? Like, you don't have to do every little aspect of your game because there's a lot of cool art out there that already exists. So admire that process of just going to find a musician on Bandcamp to be the composer of this video game. But yeah, there's a lot of great games in that. There's some sales going on, so check that out. That's this week. Also, Luck Be a Landlord is my favorite roguelite on my mobile phone. I love gambling games. It's a great gambling game. Super cute.
I need to know about this because I love a gambling roguelite. So talk to me about Luck Be a Landlord.
So it's basically the premise is like it's a classic slot machine setup, but all of the items that you can acquire each round are just so wacky. Like they range from like piece of cheese to like a polar bear or like just the most random items you could think of. But then you can strategize on like how to combine the items, and after each round you owe your landlord more money because the landlord is just like raising rent. So you lose the game when you can no longer pay rent, which like honestly might be a little too real for people right now.
Sure.
But the game is pixel art and charming and funny. And so it's like, for me, it's like, it's not too close to home because it's so like, it's not realistic at all in the presentation. But it's very easy. Like if you like a Clover Pit or any gambling roguelite, you would love Luck Be a Landlord. And I do recommend it specifically for mobile.
I am going to go get this once we're done here tonight. I do want to shout out Coal Mines in the chat says that his most anticipated indie game right now is Rivage.
Oh.
It's an atmospheric sci-fi puzzle adventure set aboard the Ares research station. Caught in a space phenomenon, physics defy logic and reality breaks apart. Uncover the fate of the missing crew and piece together the mysteries on board. This was announced during one of the Summer Game Fest things. I don't remember which. Maybe the man, I can't even think of the name. I see the logo.
Showcases.
One of the 8 million ones. I think it was the one maybe that
devs.
Troy Baker hosted. The whatever that one was. The name is escaping me, and I've vamped long enough to see if anybody in the chat knows it, and they have betrayed me yet again. But yeah, Rivage is a game. I don't know. I think it's like August maybe that this is coming out. I think we ended up getting a date shortly after it was revealed, but maybe I'm thinking of another game. August 13th. Hell yeah.
Ooh,
W.
yeah.
Coal Mines.
See, I didn't know about this one, so love it. It's going on my wish
and it's
list.
same publisher as Blueprints, which publisher doesn't always equal that it will be the vibe, but usually publishers have a pretty good eye for things that they think are good, and they thought Blueprints was good, and so did I. So I trust them implicitly.
Great shout.
What else? Anything else? Are we missing anything? Are we forgetting anything?
I don't think so. I just think check it out. There's so many cool games that are on sale right now for that event. So, and there's always more indies coming out. I do recommend the Indie Informer if you want to stay up to date on indie game releases. We also do talk about indie games at the end of every month on No Small Games, like all the ones that have come out that we've got our hands on, basically,
Cool.
be it demos or previews or reviews.
Hell yeah. Well, I do think because there is other news we could talk about, but it's mostly bad news, and I want to end on a positive note. And if you're listening to this and you don't know the other bad news that has been happening in the industry, just join the Discord because we talk about all of it there too. Drop in, dropoutpod.com. Before we go though, Kate, one last time, obviously, thank you so much for being here. What a pleasure it was to finally get to do a podcast with you. I fear this won't be the last time, I hope. But where can folks find you? Plug all the things you want to plug.
Yes, thank you both so much for having me. It's a joy to podcast with the two of you, and I love hanging out in the chat, like I said. You can find me on Blue Sky and Instagram and Twitch under Cater Blossom, and you can find all the No Small Games stuff also on Instagram and Blue Sky and YouTube now with video episodes at No Small Games. And at nosmallgames.com, where we post all of our reviews, articles, and episodes if you'd like to listen there. But you can also find us wherever you get your podcasts.
Hell yeah. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We will be back at this very channel Thursday night. Jerica will be there with Jake and Cog talking all sorts of Halo. But speaking of Jake, he's playing something right now, so let's go watch that. But if you're listening, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on podcast services, make sure you like, subscribe, all the things. If you liked the show, leave us a review, I guess. Buy some merch, I guess. All those things.
Don't say I guess, do it right now.
Do it right now.
Bucket hat's coming.
Bucket hat's coming. But yeah,
Yes.
dropoutpod.com. Join the Discord. We have a lot of fun over there. And we will see you next time, or we'll see you on another time. Until then, bye-bye.